We doing numbers. Finger on victory, straight out the huddle. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
It's been a wet and dreary day by the shores of Lake Erie, but we have football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Hey, you gotta snap it, you gotta snap it.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Going out wide, finds Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. The Browns at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Off of play action, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
On 1st down, Watson. Open man, once again, it's Thielen. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
Hey, no time now.
Chubb is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
On 2nd and goal, Watson. And it'll be intercepted. Tyus Bowser with a pick. And the Ravens are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
Call it a full 3 yards heads in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4.
And then you run and play this clock. They're always hoping it's going to break big and go the distance. When you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try to put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Here's Chubb on the read option. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career.
Touchdown! Nick Chubb, his 3rd touchdown now on the air. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he's going to have a Ravens first down as good running gets him to about the 44. Obviously an important run to avoid the 3-and-out on your own side of the field.
Shows a lot of faith in that offensive unit, doesn't it? That you want to run the ball in that situation, pick up the first down. Also helps out your defensive guys a little bit too. Allows them to get at least one more series of downs in order to get some rest.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield, a loss of 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss, because this is an obvious passing situation. Instead, they pulled them a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost, and then a little bit more.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught. It's Malone. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And some room to work. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. So much for just falling forward for a yard on 4th and 1. They got a big chunk play.
They certainly did, didn't they? And you would think as a defensive front, you just stack the line of scrimmage and create no space, right? But how about his vision?
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And the return will stop right around the 25. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control. Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 2nd and 11 now, Watson. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's not often that you'll find offensive and defensive guys that'll agree on much, but one place they find common ground, you've got to protect or attack the middle of the field. And no one was there. What a big play, moving it downfield.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Watson. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll move the chains.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Second down and goal. Watson escaping the pressure right. His pass caught at the 4. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Donovan Peoples-Jones from 3 yards out. And the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Jordan Stout now. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Taking it about the 36. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. Now's a punter, Jordan Stout. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 2nd down, a run to Dobbins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Watson's throw complete to his receiver, Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Odafe Oweh. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
3rd and long. It's Watson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is brought in at the 21. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A rough go there on 3rd down. A loss of 4.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. .35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
Well, here this third quarter, the whole complexion of the ball game flips on a dime there, CD. This is back to a one-score game.
And sometimes when your offense is sputtering, you as a defensive unit have to take it upon yourselves to say, we've got to go out there, maybe take a few chances along the way, and see if we can generate some points ourselves. And lo and behold, they were able to deliver.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Flushed out right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out on this third quarter of play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
71 yards rushing now for Chubb, and a first down as well.
Back to throw, Watson.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Here's Watson.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And they'll get this down to the 10. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with career touchdown number 70. And the Browns look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter. Extra point by York is up and good. And it's now 21-7. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And now the rookie's free. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Ravens. And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
Peoples-Jones going to elect to bring this one out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Flush to his right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore. And they'll run on the inside handoff to about the 35, 2nd down.
From the 35 on 2nd down. Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Powering forward.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here's Jackson.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 7. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34.